Here's a quick demo of Drum Session for iPhone. On the left column, you've got a list of genres. In the center column, a list of grooves. Each groove is a collection of beats that are variations on a theme. So a single groove is a good way to start a song. In the right column, you've got all the beats within a groove. So each time I select a groove, the beats on the right column change. And when I touch it, you hear the beat start to play. So the first thing you want to do when you open this app is browse around and find the beats that you like. And if you like a groove, you can press on this star icon and it'll show up in your favorites. I like the way this one sounds, so I'm going to hold my finger down on top of that and it pops up as I hold it, and I can drag it into the timeline, and now it's ready to go into my song. I'm going to press this to get it started playing, and now I want to try changing the sound. I've got a list of drum kits, which you can hear they're quite a lot of different sounds. I like these studio kits, so I'm going to take Studio Kit C. It's a real dry, simple sound. And I'll put a few more of these beats into my song. So put the second one, and I'm going to loop that by pressing my finger on the loop icon at the end of the beat. So now the first 6 beats of the song are done, and I'm going to turn a loop on in the timeline and just loop that section of the song. And now I'm dragging the edge of this loop region so that this will be looped when I play. Next thing I want to do is record some accents on this. I'm going to go to the keyboard layout pads. This is a good thing if you want to explore all the different samples in the app. So when you look at keys, you can scroll it, you can hear everything. Everything's labeled. I'm going to find the cymbals. Here's the low crash. I'll take that. I'm going to lock the keyboard in place. So I'm going to hit record, and it will give me 4 beats, and then it'll start recording. And when it does, I'm going to play some cymbals to give some accents in there. So here we go. Okay, I'm going to stop recording and close it, and now my recording sits right under the original beats that I put onto the timeline in recording 0. The next thing I want to do is edit that recording. So I hold my finger on it, and it says I can drag here to edit or save a copy of the pattern, which I will do. And there isn't much in here. There's just this one crash symbol. I got to stay away from these arrows, because what these arrows do is they move the beginning and end of the pattern forward and backward. So I got to pull it out from under these arrows, which I've done. And I'm going to turn the velocity right up to the max because I want it good and loud. And close the velocity editor. And I didn't really like this, so I'll delete that. And that's a very simple pattern that will save back. Now it's there. One thing I want to show you in the settings, when you're recording, quantization helps, and we're now quantizing to a half beat, which is an 1/8 note, and that's fine for me. But if I don't want quantization, I can turn it off or quantize on some other amount of time. Let's say I'm happy with this. Obviously this isn't a very long song, but if I'm happy with what I have, I could now go to export that. So I hit export, and I have a selection of different ways to export. If I've selected a loop region that's smaller than the whole song, and I want to export that privately, I can export the loop region. In this case, the entire timeline is the loop region, so it doesn't really matter what I select. And then I can have everything mixed down on one audio track, or I can get stems, which means that each of the drums has its own track, which is useful if you really want to edit the sound of this when you go into your digital audio workstation. And then I select the export route. The first one is my favorite, is OpenIn. This is nicely supported by many of the apps that I like to use. What OpenIn will do is when I hit go, it'll show me a list of apps that support OpenIn for the file type that I export. Another thing I can do is I can take the patterns that are already here in the app, like this one, and I can edit that. And if I want to save this, I'll hit close. And I cannot save it over the original pattern. So the presets are stuck the way they are, but I can save as. And it will go into my user patterns folder where I can create a new category if I want. So I'll call this new 2. And I can choose which category now. I'll save in there. And now I type the pattern name. And it will go in there. And if I want to get it back, now I can see it in here and preview it, and I can even edit it again if I want to. So that's a quick demo of Drum Session. I hope that this is enough for you to dive right in and start making some great beats and putting songs together. If you want to know more detailed information, have a look at the documentation that's in our help file. We're expanding that all of the time. And if you have any questions that aren't answered in there, feel free to reach out to us on our Facebook page or our website. Our website is drumsession.org, and you can find a link to our Facebook page there on the website.